Hi there, Poppin PJ here. Are you ready for a super cool spool table? I know I am. I have looked and researched spool tables, and although there are some that I really like, a lot of the spool tables that I've seen that have been done don't look finished. So I'm going to put my own touch on them, and I think this one I'm going to show you today came out really cool. So check it out with me. Let's make a cool spool table.
Turn me loose, spool on the loose, spool on the loose. Oh my God, I loved Loverboy. So we're going to get started making a super cool spool table. I'm using my sander to prepare this wooden spool for staining. Making sure to sand the edges too. Sanding the center of the spool. All right. So my thoughts are that I'm going to start with a base stain of this gray color that I'm going to do on the top here. I'm sure you've noticed that I have not sanded off the print markings that are on the spool, the United States, the numbers, because I'm going to do something kind of unique and I want a little bit of that showing. I am using a straight edge here to make triangles on the spool as if cutting slices of a pie. I just go around the washers and bolts as you see here. I want the triangles pretty symmetrical, but they don't have to be perfect. This one I had to fix here though. Making smaller and smaller triangles. I absolutely love doing unique projects. Now in every other triangle, I am writing the letter B because on those triangles, the stain is going to be black. Done with that, so now it is taping time. I'm taping around the triangles that have the letter B for black. I have to tape on the other side of the washer. A lot of times it's the actual prep work that takes more time than the actual project that you're trying to do. A jet black stain here. So the triangles that I'm staining this black here, the edges of the table of that triangle will also be black. Repeating this process for every other triangle. Got some stain on the washer and bolts, so I am making sure to get that off pretty quickly. I don't have a lot of patience, so I'm excited to see what it's going to look like, so I'm going to go ahead and remove these pieces of tape so I can check it out. It is coming out as I had envisioned, as this is going to be a pretty sharp table. Yes! Okay, here it is so far. Looking pretty cool. We're gonna have a little fun. Don't get dizzy. Okay, now I'm going to distress the top. Just the black areas. Speed distressing. Super speed distressing. Making sure to sand the sides too. Not for everyone, but I like. Staining the center of the spool black. Making sure to get in the grooves the best that I can so I can get full coverage. All black. Now I'm going to use a paintbrush and put black paint in the grooves where the cloth was not able to get in completely. Just filling in the spots that didn't get covered. I need to take this piece of rope off that was stapled to the spool. Using a screwdriver to pry under the staples to get them loose, and then using these needle nose pliers to remove the staples. Now I have to remove the rope from the underside of the spool. Prying up the staples with the screwdriver, remove the rope, then remove the staples from the spool. Now to stain the spool where the rope was that I couldn't get to, and also to do some touch-up staining here on the bottom of the table. Using my Sharpie to make my signature on the bottom of the spool table for when I sell it, someone will know that it was me that made it. And then I'm going to use a soldering iron to go over my signature so that it is permanently imprinted in the wood. Just taking my time to go over the lines of my signature. Poppin PJ. Okay, now I'm going to be staining this bottom edge of this table a weathered gray. I thought it might be kind of fun to just make my Poppin PJ signature pop, if you will, using some gray stain over it. It's on the bottom of the table. Nobody's really going to see it, but if they flip it upside down, it'll stand out. So with doing my research on spool tables on the internet, I have noticed that many of them don't have the holes that are in the spools either covered or filled. And to me, unless it's a certain piece and looks a certain way, I think it looks a bit unfinished. So the couple of holes that are on the spool table, I am choosing to cover with washers and nuts. I am going to use this E6000 adhesive because it says it can bond wood to metal. So I'm putting it right around the periphery of the hole as you see here. I feel covering the hole with the washer and the nut will work with the other washers and nuts that are already part of the spool. And it just gives that continued industrial feel. So I'm just going to place this washer right over the hole you see here and push down on it so that it will adhere to the glue, just wiping off some of the excess. I found a nut that I'm just going to glue on top of this washer. And I had a screw lying around that will fit in the nut, and I'm just gluing the threads here so that when I put it into the nut, it will stay put as the glue dries. Now to cover this large hole on the bottom of the table, I'm going to place this larger washer first onto the hole, again using E6000, placing the glue right at the periphery of the hole. Placing the large washer on top of the hole, pressing it down. Now I'm going to glue a smaller washer on top of that washer. It's going to fit like so. Putting the E6000 around the hole of that washer. Placing the side down of the washer that has numbers because I want the side up without any numbers or letters on the washer. Then I found this little black screw lying around. I'm putting E6000 on the threads and I'm going to place it right into the center washer's hole so that it will adhere down. Looks pretty good, matches the other washers on the table, and it's finished looking to me. Another look at the hole on the top of the table that we did the same way. We're getting close. We're almost done with this table, but we do need to put on a Varathane polyurethane coating. I am using this Varathane triple thick polyurethane. It's a clear satin. I love the satin polyurethane coating because I think it just gives it a nice finished look. It has a milky look when you apply it, but it dries clear.
So I'm super excited to share my additions to the spool table because this was my whole idea. Was in the center hole, I wanted to have a cup holder for a candle. But you can use this cup holder for anything, but I thought the candle really gave the finishing touch to this spool table. So I found these aluminum poker table cup holders. This size fit perfectly. Now, all spool tables don't have the same size central hole, but this one worked well, so it fits right in there like so. And then I found the perfect size candle. It's a real wax, black flameless candle, and it fits perfectly right inside that aluminum cup holder. So now you're gonna see it all put together.
I really love this table. I think it's poppin'. I think that the candle just gives that added ambiance that the table needed. And it looks great here with my gray leather couch. It's fun, it's functional. And remember where this table started. It's definitely one of my favorite PJ's garage creations. If you enjoyed this video, pop that subscribe button and like and share. Thank you.